Hey everyone! A lot of you have noticed since I started this channel that I usually wear a lot of band shirts. This isn't a band shirt, this is just Grumpy Cat. But my musical sort of passion has always been a really big part of my life, and a really big example of that is my record collection. Now most of my LPs and 7s and stuff are still at my mom's house in the States, but I have a small selection of them here in Finland with me, and I thought it could be fun to sort of show some of the stuff that I'm super proud of. I'm not including many like flea market finds in here. It was really hard to sort of narrow down what I would show in a video like this because everything I own I'm, of course proud of, but I thought I would just sort of show a little bit of everything and talk a bit about it. So the first one we have here was a thing I didn't even know existed until like a year ago. Seisha was this screamo band from New York, and I kind of accidentally got into screamo. And when I say screamo, I don't mean like the mall screamo, I mean like actual like people cutting themselves and falling down on stage kind of screamo. And I was really into Seisha when I was younger, and I was just sort of on, I forget what website I was even on when I found this, and I saw that it's just like it's the whole, everything they've done basically, and there's like a really cool like I didn't show it, I don't know how well the camera picks it up, but like there's a really cool booklet in here that has like pictures and stuff like that. Like it's really nice actually. I haven't gotten to listen to it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. So I'm really proud of this actually, and I probably shouldn't have taken it out of the bag because that's like wasted seconds of you guys watching me put the sleeve back on this record. Maybe I'll just do that later. And I have both Park LPs. Actually, that's a lie because Park had 3 albums, I think, and I have 2 of them. I have this one and then, oh my god, I can't even remember what the other album is called. But yeah, I have this one and the newer one. And Park was one of those bands that, like, I actually have rarely met anyone who also likes them, despite the fact that, like, I was so active in the scene and whatever. I don't know why, because I think they were really great, and especially when I was in high school I was like a really big fan. When the third album, the album after this came out, I listened to it non-stop for like a couple weeks, so. But this is really good too. And Owen. I am oh god, what happened here now? How did that even, whatever. I'm a really big fan of basically everything Mike and Tim Kinsella have ever done, ever, literally. But this is really good. I was actually just listening to the song Nobody's Nothing today and marveling at how good the lyrics were. And yeah, I have, at one point I was sort of buying basically everything that Owen was doing. So I have a really big collection of Owen stuff. And when I got some of my records from my mom like a year ago, I sold away some of the 7 inches just because I was like, there's no need for me to own so much Owen. And I kind of regret that on one level because it's just really good, but yeah, I don't know. The Swims were this local band from Scranton when I first started getting really active in shows and stuff when I was a teenager. And they shared members with this band called An Albatross, which was totally different than this actually. The Swims are very, I don't actually know what to even call it. It's very poppy, it's very sort of like fun kind of music, and they were always really fun live. I've seen them I think like 3 or 4 times around Northeast Pennsylvania, and it was a good band. It's really good. So when they put this out on vinyl, I had to pick it up just because. And then this Menzinger 7-inch, Hold On Dodge, I bought at the release show for it in 2009. And to this day, it's still one of like my favorite EPs basically ever. They reissued it. This one is brown, and I don't think this is the reissue. I think I have like 3 of these, and I don't think this one's the reissue. I think this is one of the original pressings of this. And yeah, this is just really great. And sort of like I always knew the Menzingers would be huge. Like their live show was just too good, and they were musically just too awesome. But when this came out, it really solidified for me that this band had a future, and I'm happy to know that I wasn't wrong about that. This is a really good 10-inch. Bomb the Music Industry and Oh Pioneers, two really, really awesome bands. I really like Bomb the Music Industry. When I was younger, it sort of went over my head a little bit, but as I've gotten older, well, I shouldn't say that. When Scrambles came out, I was really into it, but I couldn't get into anything else from them. But as I've gotten older, I've grown to really appreciate basically all of it. Same thing with Oh Pioneers. Just two really great bands, so. Papa Known, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that's actually my Instagram name. And I offered to get back to them if they wanted it, but they said they play a reunion show every couple of years or months, so they don't need the name back. So thanks guys, I appreciate that, but you can still have it if you want. I'll gladly change my name. This is one of my favorite albums basically ever, and I'm really happy that I went on vinyl. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Anything mineral related, of course, I'm naturally going to be inclined to love, but it's more than that, I guess, with Pop Unknown. It's just really good, and again, really good lyrics, really good everything. I sound like Trump with my bad vocabulary here. Everything is really good. This is fun. I bought this on Discogs like a year ago. No shame. No shame at all. This is a test press of the Swellers Ups and Downsizing that I won on eBay when I think it was Paper and Plastic who were doing the auction, and I want to say it was for charity, but I don't remember what charity or why. I just know that I won this, and I think I paid like $80 for it or something, but I've always been a really huge Swellers fan, so naturally, like, if I knew I could get it, I did. It's a really, really, really good album that still sort of holds up today, and I'm really proud that I have a test press of it. I don't think I have to explain why I own this on vinyl, but yeah, Diary is probably one of my favorite albums of all time, and this is a repress of it. I think I got this in like 2009 when they did, or 2000, yeah, I think it was 2009 when they did their reunion tours, so I think that's when they reissued this, and yeah, of course I had to have it. I own some Ergs stuff on vinyl, but not nearly as much as I would want. I have this, and I have the Hindsight is 2020 compilation thing, but I love the Ergs. Everyone should love the Ergs. I haven't actually listened to this yet. It's still in the wrapping. It's crazy. This is probably my favorite Bad Religion album. It came out when I was breaking up with my ex, and I listened to it a lot, even though it's not necessarily a breakup record at all. It still was like, it gave me something to, you know, focus on and enjoy in a time where I really fucking needed something to focus on and enjoy. So I have a lot of strong feelings for this, and when they came to Pori 2 years ago, they played a lot of songs off of this record, so that was really nice for me. It's not often bands I like come to Finland, let alone Pori. So. My beloved friend Antti gave me this, and this is a Finnish humor grind rap band called Horse Attack Squad, as you can see, and the title of the album in English means Don't Touch My Horse, and all of these songs are about horses, and they wear horse masks and stuff, and it's really fun and really random. And I had no idea what this was until they played some song of this on Disco Kakstuhatta a few months ago, and I said to Antti, what in the fuck is this? And then he's like, you don't know? So then this came in the Smart Post one day, and I was like, alright, cool. I've listened to it online now. I still haven't actually opened the record, but yeah, this is a lot of fun. This is also still in the wrapping, just because I have the CD, so I haven't needed to listen to it on vinyl yet, but I'd like to. I'm getting around to it. Valencia was a huge part of my teenage years. You know, for a Pennsylvania band, of course, I naturally got to see them quite often. And this album especially was just really, it was just important at the time, and it still is, I think. And especially the follow-up, We All Need a Reason to Believe. It's still probably one of my favorite records ever. This just reminds me of being young and being sort of optimistic and idealistic about the future and stuff like that. I hold this record really dear to my heart. So when they announced a vinyl reissue of it, I was like, fuck yeah, I have to buy it. Yeah, I have... I could go on about how much Valencia means to me, but I spare you all the emotional bullshit. Just know it's an important band, and it always will be. Oh, I only have 3 left. That was fast. This still is in the wrapping also, because I've been listening to it mostly on Spotify, but I will listen to it on vinyl soon. This is probably, well, I can already safely say this is my album of the year, even though it's only May. And again, the Men Singers were really important to me, but this album especially, it deals with a lot of themes and topics that I'm personally sort of going through now, with the whole idea of sort of aging but not being old, and remembering, you know, sort of being innocent and being young and whatever else, and growing up in Pennsylvania, even though I have about, I would say, 90% awful, horrible, traumatic memories of living in Northeast Pennsylvania. This album has tried to show me that there were actually good times and remind me of that as well. So I love this. I recommend it highly. And yeah. And I bought this in Finland, and that's important. I was so impressed and surprised and excited that I actually found this from a Finnish record store, and not even like a punk rock record store, like Levykauppa X, like the most mainstream record store Finland has. I was really excited. I got this from this couple friend of mine, and I was really happy. Again, this was back when I was in my screamo phase. Orchid, I think, was actually the first screamo band I ever heard. And I had a pirated version of this on my computer when I was like 12. I'm just gonna put this back in the sleeve. You're recording, aren't you?
Yeah.
Fun. No, I'm always really afraid when I put them back in the sleeves because I don't want to hurt anything. And especially with these papers, it always gets caught. Right there. Alright, and last but not least, Abel Baker Fox. I don't know how popular or known this band is at all, since I've only ever known one other person who knew who they were. Like I said, even in the scene. Or, let me rephrase that, not knew who they were, but actually openly talked to me about liking them. And this album is great. They were comprised of members of Christie Front Drive and Small Brown Bike, 2 bands I really love. So together, they just made a really awesome album. And yeah, I have it on vinyl and I'm happy about that. So, like I said, I could have spent all hours, or wow, let me rephrase that. I could have spent hours telling you guys why I own pretty much everything in my record collection and what it symbolizes, but I'm pretty sure you would get bored after about now, so I'll spare you all of that. But just know that my records are really important to me, and as soon as I have the rest of my collection here, I will happily take you through more of the sort of stuff that stands out and is really important. My favorite record of all time, for example, is still in my mom's basement, and that hurts because, of course, I have it digitally, but when I bought it, it hadn't been reissued yet, and I spent a little bit of money on it, and it made me feel really good about myself for a while. And then I have a lot of 7-inches that I'm sort of really proud of too. Because when I started collecting emo records, it was a time when emo wasn't popular at all, so it was really easy to sort of just buy entire record collections from people. And so I was able to get a hold of a lot of stuff that meant a lot, and then of course like 2 years afterward it all got reissued and emo was cool, and it's just funny because I remember all of my older friends just literally fucking picking on me when I told them my favorite bands were Mineral and The Promise Ring. They would always be like, I remember Elliot especially, he was like, do you have any idea how boring Mineral was with live? And I was just like, yeah, probably, but oh well. But yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, if you have any other ideas or whatever for videos I can do in the future, leave them in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and share and whatever else. Yeah, bye!